Hey there, welcome to another video. In this video, I'll fix some of the issues that was created by Claude Code, and I'm going to show you how you can read those errors and fix them while using Claude Code. This one is it's good idea to always read the error so you understand itself, like okay, what is happening here and why there is a problem. I can see like on my pricing page in here, I have used this Shopify server. Pricing page is a component that is only rendered in the storefront, like not the storefront, in the front end, but server is a server only component. That's why it is causing the issue, especially for Vite, which is like compiling my file. What I can do is this one is probably the easiest way. I can copy that. To replicate this, I think I can just navigate between routes, and it is causing this error, and it goes away. But that is a problem that is happening right now. I can refresh everything and then I can fix this error. This is probably one of the first error that I need to fix. Okay, first I need to be able to copy that. Okay, let's go to recommendation. It works fine. In the home, you can see this is like a tricky part where it happens and then it refreshes the page because it's navigating to another route. Let's go to pricing. That works. You can see the design is also not good. These are like not working, but we will fix them one by one in a minute. For now, let's see if we can. In here we use free plan and then we import it from the Shopify server. All I have to do is just copy this and let's go back to our code editor. I can open the file itself. Okay, which file that is that I am getting this error. It's probably in pricing page, but it is happening on other routes as well. In here I will come and go in the plan mode. The plan mode is always the best idea. Almost like 90% of the time it is doing the right thing. If it has a question, it will ask you. So I can say I am getting the following error. All it does, it is going to check the code, plan it, and it is going to create a, like in a plan mode, it's going to understand the issue first and then it's going to fix them. So it will take a while, but I'll pause the video and come back after it is done. Alright, it is all done, but let me show you one thing. One of the cool thing about plan mode is it is going to create a to-do for you. So the to-do is going to show you which file it is going to update, and this is what happened. I always recommend you to read what it is doing. As you go through your application and you build it, do not assume that everything will be written by AI and I will not have a problem. If you don't understand the context or the code that you are writing, it is going to be very difficult to debug in the future. That's why it is always a good idea to go through the plan, what it has done and how it is doing. There are times where it is doing something wrong, but I correct it and say, hey, don't do it this way, do it the other way. While I record the video, I normally do not do this because it's like going to take some time, but most of the time it is not doing exactly what I want. You can see it moved the plan details in a constant like data instead of putting them in the server, and then it is using that anywhere that we need. I think that's a good idea. And you can see the to-dos, and this is how it checked everything and plan everything is working. Now I can see that okay, this was the file that was updated and it should work as expected. Let's go back to our app and let's refresh everything and see if we are still getting the error or not. No errors. If I go to recommendation, no error in here. If I go to pricing, nothing here. How to use, and this is how it works. Everything is looking good, but the design is not. So the design is something that I always find it challenging from AI, and I don't expect the AI to write a beautiful design for me. Most of the time I can ask it to refactor this for me, but most of the time it cannot do the job properly. I have to do it manually. That is the only part that I'm still like struggling to ask AI to do things, but for functionality wise, it is doing a great job. Like these are exactly how you should put your file in a constant, and you probably use that again and again. That's okay for now. That is fixed. Let's see what is happening now in my app. Based on the idea that I give it to Claude Code, this is how it should work. I have an analytics for the dashboard. This is where it shows the usage, top recommendation. It should store them in the meta objects, and that's how it should work. A quick start guide. This is showing in here. I will redesign this. On the how to use page, you can go there. Let's see if the extensions are working as expected or not. I can go to storefront. Let's edit the theme. I am going to go to a product page. These are just dummy data that I have. In here, I should be able to add a section. Right over here, I should be able to add a product recommendation. This is what I expect. If I go to apps, I can see easy app recommendation is here. So I can select that easy app recommendation and it says you may like and loading the product nicely in here. Add to cart is working and everything is looking properly. And it is currently showing a lot of product, but I only want to display 2 products in here. See how cool it has designed. Do you want a grid? Do you want a slider? Let's see if the slider is working. The slider is also working, showing 2 products. Nice and neat. That's cool. Like, it has all this design and everything looking nice. Do you want to show the price? Do you want to show the vendor? Let's just hide the price. If it is working properly, it should hide the price directly in here. Let's see. Sometimes it is a bit slow, but that's okay. Do you want to show add to cart or not? These are the options that you have here. Okay, it should reload this, and yeah, hiding price is working, showing vendor is working. This is displaying the vendor, and that is how it is displaying the product recommendation. See, using one prompt we created the product recommendation. Now it is your turn to go to your app and start creating the app using the same prompt. The repository is linked in the video description. You can check out the code. You can use the same thing, but it is a good idea that your app idea is different and you can follow along and building your app. That's it. I hope this video has been informative. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.